I'm Katharine Hsu, and I want to give you a crash course on how to teach reading in the easiest, fastest, and most engaging way where you don't have to use worksheets as your essential tool. You can just use it as a supplement. This is also a way where you don't have to get a curriculum or a big program and get overwhelmed with all the pages that are in it. I just want to help you build the foundation of how to get a kid to read. I have students who come to me with dyslexia, gifted, or they've been struggling with reading for years. They've been to like a tutoring program for years. They come to me and within 8 weeks, they are significantly reading more and they're building more confidence in their spelling as well. And it's all because of the sequence that I've created based on a lot of experience, training, research, trial, and error. So I want to share that with you. And at the end of it, I'm also going to show you the sequence that I've designed, and you can get a free copy of that to download for yourself. The most important thing at first is remember that you don't have to teach your kid every single sound or in order for them to begin reading. You have to think of the sounds as building blocks. And if you can build the big blocks first, then you can start filling in with the additional phonics sounds and spelling rules. But the most important one is short vowels and consonant sounds. So of course, I'm teaching this assuming that your child knows the ABCs, like they can sing it and they can identify the letters, but the sounds is where we'll begin. So I always make the short vowels a different color, and I teach the short vowels with hand gestures. I'm going to show that for you. You can replay this for your kids as well. For A, you would put your hand under your chin, go ah, 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 ah. E, you would take 2 fingers and go like an elephant, like an elephant. I, itch your nose, itchy, itchy. O, open your mouth like you're going to the dentist and go ah, octopus, ah, octopus. U, put your thumb up and go just like you're going up, but you're keeping your mouth open, These are so important to practice. You can have them pick a card and review it, but the hand gestures tie that sound to an actual tactile movement, and you're gonna need this for every single word that you build with the kids. And I'm telling you, this is gonna help them remember it within just a couple of weeks when nothing else has been helpful, because some of them can sound similar to the kids. Once you have that, then take the consonant sounds, and you can pick a few if you have younger kids, or for older kids, you would just use this as a drill. You can also have them make the cards with you by having them draw the pictures, laminate them so you can use them a lot. Once they've got consonant sounds and vowels good to go, then it's time to teach them how to blend the sounds. So again, have you noticed there's no worksheets, right? It's just tactile learning, multisensory learning. I have Play-Doh here. I've also used kinetic sand for high sensory kids, and it's super helpful, but let me show you what I do. So the first thing you do is you pick one vowel, and you don't do more than 3 sounds. This is called CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant. This is the basic of everything. They're gonna learn how to blend it, but let me show you how I do it because it's a little bit different than what you see. So you just pick a consonant, a vowel, and a consonant. And what you do is you do smash, then read, or squeeze it together, okay? So they would smash for the sensory part. They would go s, ah, t, and then they would squeeze the Play-Dohs together to make one big loaf of bread. And they would go sat, and that's how they would blend sat. Now, of course, like if I had 2 hands, I would squeeze the Play-Doh and go sat, and then they would do it again, make 3 what we call sound balls. Make 3 sound balls, and they would do it again for another CVC combo. But here's what I would do. I would keep the act sound the same, so they're practicing the same vowel and the same ending, and add a consonant that's different here. Switch just the first one out. Switch just the first one out first, right? The vowel is still the same. Once they are ready and they can do this, keep the first and the last the same, swap out the middle one with a different vowel. Every time they hit that orange card, make them do the hand gesture and smash and sound it out. Squeeze and sound it out. Smash, squeeze, and sound it out. Once they have that, then you want to do that spelling, right? So the spelling part is we're practicing ears, we're taking away the eyes. And so what you would do is you would use the sounds, and they have to do the sound balls without the cards. So let's say we do sit, and you say sit, and they have to smash it first. It. Now they spell it. Sit. This is helping them slow down that spelling process and letting their ears break it apart before they spell with something tactile, so that they can leave their memory of the sound into the Play-Doh and they don't have to memorize it all in their brains. If you do this just using Play-Doh with each sound slowly, you could slow it down to 1 vowel a week. You could speed it up and do all of them, but just do the 3 letters first. Once you're ready, then you can start adding consonant blends in the beginning or consonant blends at the end. So for example, fast, fast. They can blend now 4 sound balls. Whenever you do this, you always ask, how many sound balls do you need? Then squeeze the sound balls together. The reason I do that and I ask how many sound balls do you need is because once they have all their consonant blends done, consonant blends means 2 consonants where they don't have to change sounds, like k, t, they stay the same. Once they have all of that done, then you can teach them the digraphs, like sh or th or ch. Those are 2 letters together that make 1 sound ball. And then you say like, well, guess what? These 2 letters, they make 1 sound ball. By this time, they understand sound balls so well, they will understand that they have to blend these 2 sounds into 1 sound ball and be able to do words like chop. Again, after you blend the sounds visually, take the visuals away and practice the spelling part. By saying the word, they have to squeeze and then spell. This is without worksheets. This is highly engaging and multisensory. And once you have that done, you have built the building blocks to start filling in all the other sounds. This is what I have. I will link it in the YouTube, or you can go on my website, but this is my sequence. This is taking Orton Gillingham, so many different phonics assessments, spelling assessments, and seeing what are the most important sounds that kids need to be able to read the books at their level, and take away all the other complicated ones. And I've built it to about 21 stages for you to be able to follow along. I think it's so much easier than using an entire packet because you know you're a student and you know your child, so you might need to customize it. I'll also attach a lesson activity choice list. So what I do is I have a lot of games and multisensory ideas that I use, and I mix it up so that it's not always the same thing. Sound balls, they do stay with me for a few weeks in the beginning, and once that's good, then we bring in some games as well. With the consonants, one last little tip for you is we learned when we were kids that like b would be buh, right? But when we read, we don't want to do buh, because if we do buh, they're going to start spelling with the sound. So when you have buh, just go b, and then have them make sure that they don't have a vowel and they go b or k or p, not p. Practice that when you teach the consonant sounds, and then you should be good to go. If you have any more questions, or if you're wondering what else are tips, I'm always posting really short little videos on my Instagram and Facebook, so feel free to follow there or subscribe here and I'll add more tips as well. And I would love for you to subscribe so that you can continue following along. And thank you so much for your time, and I hope that this is helpful.